The night was meant to be joyous, a celebration of life's new chapter. Lisa clutched her husband's hand as they sped down the darkened road, her contractions coming faster now. Despite the overwhelming pain, she felt a small flicker of hope. Together, they were ready to welcome their child. Suddenly, headlights, a screech, a deafening crash. When Lisa opened her eyes, the hospital's sterile white ceiling greeted her. Her body ached, every muscle weighed down with a heaviness she couldn't shake. A nurse stood nearby, murmuring softly, though the words blurred in the haze of her awakening. "Where is he?" Lisa's voice was barely a whisper. Her eyes darted around the room. "Where's my husband?" The nurse paused and turned away, silent. Then her father stepped forward. His face was stoic, eyes hard as though bracing her for the blow. "He didn't make it," he said flatly. Her heart stuttered. A sharp gasp escaped her lips. "No," she whimpered. "This couldn't be real. It couldn't." Still, as the tears began to fall, another thought clawed its way to the forefront of her mind, her desperation turning to raw panic. "My baby? Dad, where's my baby?" Something flickered across his face, hesitation, then something colder. His shoulders squared, his tone eerily controlled. "Lisa, the baby didn't survive either." The air escaped her lungs, her cry raw and guttural. The walls seemed to close in around her. She was drowning in grief so deep, so all-consuming that the world turned to a haze. 2 lives, 2 pieces of her heart ripped away in an instant. The cool grip of her father's hand on hers drew Lisa's attention. "You need to be strong. What's gone is gone. This chapter is over," he said firmly. Her gaze dropped. She didn't have the strength to meet his eyes. There was something off about his words, his detached tone, but she had no fight left in her to confront it. Meanwhile, in the shadow-cloaked halls of the hospital, her father's secretary, Brian, held a crying infant, Lisa's baby. The truth was, the child had survived. A healthy, delicate life nestled in Brian's arms. "The child will complicate her recovery," her father had said earlier. His command had been unequivocal. "Take it to an orphanage. Ensure she never learns the truth." But Brian's gaze lingered on the baby for a long moment. A secret part of him stirred. He'd quietly loved Lisa for years, watching from the periphery as she married someone else. But now fate had delivered a strange opportunity. "It's for the best," he murmured, though whom he was convincing was unclear. He stared at the baby's tear-streaked cheeks, then nodded to himself. His grip tightened protectively. In the dead of night, Brian slipped away, the child in his arms. Somewhere deep inside, he believed this was justice, or perhaps salvation, for both Lisa and himself. Lisa's tears fell endlessly in her hospital bed, unaware that she mourned something that wasn't truly gone. And as the night stretched on, a chilling truth settled into the silence. Lies are fragile things, and the shadows of fate have a way of creeping into the light. The secret would not stay hidden forever, and when it unraveled, nothing would ever be the same.
In the fading light of a city evening, a man named Ethan walks alone through quiet streets. Like countless evenings before, he moves through the familiar shadows of his neighborhood, his footsteps echoing against brick walls. But this night is different. A cry pierces the silence, desperate, small, yet powerful enough to change everything. Following the sound, Ethan discovers a tiny bundle near discarded boxes, a baby girl, wrapped in nothing but a thin blanket. Without hesitation, he wraps his jacket around her, his natural protective instincts taking over. In that moment, something awakens in Ethan's heart, a feeling he can't explain, a connection he never expected. In that moment, something awakens in Ethan's heart, a feeling he can't explain, a connection he never expected. The authorities come, of course. They name her Barbara and place her in temporary care. But Ethan can't forget those trusting eyes, that moment of connection. He visits the orphanage daily, watching as Barbara's shy smile begins to light up at the sight of him.
"You're not ready. You need to settle down first, have a proper family."
But sometimes, life doesn't follow the expected path. Sometimes love arrives in unexpected packages, carried on the wings of fate. Days become weeks, and with each visit, the bond grows stronger. Barbara's reaching hands and hopeful eyes tell Ethan what his heart already knows. They were meant to find each other. Despite the uncertainty, despite the doubts of others, he begins the journey to make their connection official. Today, their home rings with laughter where silence once lived. Barbara grows surrounded by love, knowing she wasn't just rescued, she was chosen. And Ethan? He discovered that family isn't about perfect timing or traditional paths. It's about recognizing love when it appears, even if it comes as a blessing from the sky on an ordinary night. Sometimes the most unexpected moments lead us exactly where we're meant to be. And in the end, it's not blood that makes a family. It's love, courage, and the wisdom to recognize when destiny calls your name.